Every day, millions wake up dreading the same routine: commute, cubicle, clock out. But here's the truth: 85% of people globally hate their jobs. What if everything you were taught about success, college, career, retirement, was a trap? What if freedom wasn't a dream, but a system you never learned? For generations, we were told the same story: work hard, in school, get a good job, climb the corporate ladder, and someday you'll be free. But that promise is breaking. People are working longer hours, earning less in real terms, and feeling more trapped than ever. Meanwhile, a silent revolution is happening. From digital entrepreneurs to remote freelancers, everyday people are breaking out of the 9-5 grind and building real income on their own terms. This isn't a get-rich-quick fantasy. It's a shift in mindset, skills, and strategy. In this video, we'll uncover the 7 proven steps to escape the rat race. The 9-to-5 work structure wasn't always the norm. In fact, it's a relatively modern invention. During the Industrial Revolution in the 1800s, people worked brutal hours, 12 to 16 hours a day, 6 days a week, in factories with little regard for safety or personal well-being. It wasn't until 1926 that Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motor Company, popularized the 40-hour work week. His reasoning: workers who were well rested and had leisure time would buy more goods. It wasn't about freedom, it was about consumption. Fast forward to the post-World War II era, and the idea of a good job became sacred. Governments and corporations promised stability, benefits, pensions, and the golden retirement years. The middle class thrived on this dream. You went to college, got a steady job, bought a home, and waited for that magical age of 65. But that system began to crack in the 1980s. Globalization shipped jobs overseas, automation began replacing labor, pensions shrank or disappeared entirely, and suddenly people were expected to work harder, longer, and smarter just to stay afloat. Take Sarah, for example. A college graduate with honors, she landed a marketing job at a mid-sized firm. At first, it felt like success. But after 5 years, her salary barely covered rent, student loans, and basic expenses. Promotions were scarce, and the work-life balance her company promised was a myth. She was exhausted, disillusioned, and stuck. Then there's Marcus, a single father who worked in IT for over a decade. When his department was downsized, he found himself scrambling to make ends meet with gig jobs that offered no security or benefits. Despite years of experience, he was treated as disposable. These aren't rare stories, they're the norm. According to a 2023 Gallup poll, only 15% of employees worldwide feel engaged at work. Meanwhile, 56% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and job satisfaction is at record lows. Yet, while the traditional path crumbles, new doors are opening. The internet has changed everything. With the rise of remote work, online platforms, and global connectivity, people now have more tools than ever to build income streams outside the 9-5 system. But tools alone aren't enough. Escaping the rat race requires a shift, a radical rethinking of what work, money, and freedom actually mean. And that's where the journey begins. For most people, the idea of leaving their 9-to-5 feels like jumping off a cliff without a parachute. The fear is real because society has wired us to believe that stability only comes from a paycheck. From the time we're children, we're asked, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" Not "What kind of life do you want to live?" That conditioning runs deep. We're taught to trade time for money, to seek approval from bosses, to play it safe. But here's the uncomfortable truth: that system is no longer safe. Inflation is rising faster than wages. In 2024, the U.S. average wage increased by just 4.1%, while essential goods like food, rent, and healthcare jumped by double digits. Millennials and Gen Z now, the bulk of the workforce, face student debt, housing unaffordability, and job markets flooded with automation. And while corporate profits soar, employees are being asked to do more with less. Burnout isn't an exception, it's expected. Take Juan, a software engineer from Texas. Despite working 60-hour weeks, he watched as AI tools slowly replaced tasks he once spent days perfecting. One day, his manager casually hinted, "You might want to start learning how to manage AI systems. Your current role may not exist next year." That wasn't a warning, it was a countdown. Contrast that with Maya, a stay-at-home mom in the Philippines who started a small Etsy shop selling handmade jewelry during the pandemic. She learned everything online: marketing, product photography, customer service. 2 years later, she's earning more than her previous full-time job with flexible hours and full creative control. She didn't have a business degree or startup capital, she just started. The shift isn't just economic, it's psychological. Many who leave the 9-5 describe it as waking up from a dream. They begin to question everything. Why am I spending the best years of my life at a desk? Why does my value depend on a company's quarterly report? Why do I need permission to take a vacation, to rest, to live? But breaking free comes at a cost. Friends and family may not understand. There's no blueprint, no guaranteed paycheck. You'll face doubt, mostly from yourself. Because unlike the corporate world where you're given a role, in the real world of freedom, you have to define your own. The digital world offers infinite possibilities: affiliate marketing, online courses, freelancing, investing, content creation, digital products, but with so many options, it's easy to get lost, overwhelmed, or scammed. That's the danger and the opportunity. And this is where most people quit, not because they aren't capable, but because no one ever taught them how to think like an owner instead of a worker. No one showed them the roadmap to build real sustainable income streams until now. Because the 7 steps you're about to hear aren't theory. They're built from real stories, proven models, and the hard-earned lessons of those who've made it out. The escape from the 9-5 isn't a fantasy. It's a formula. This is the moment it all shifts, from frustration to clarity, from feeling trapped to taking control. Meet James. He was a warehouse worker in Ohio making $16 an hour. He had no college degree, no savings, and a mountain of debt. For years, he felt stuck. Every time he tried to budget, a car repair or medical bill would wipe him out. He wasn't lazy. He was exhausted. Then one night, unable to sleep, he stumbled across a video like this one. It talked about digital income, affiliate marketing, online products, freelancing. It sounded too good to be true, but something inside him said, try. James didn't quit his job. He started small. He spent 30 minutes every night learning copywriting through free YouTube tutorials. He joined online communities. He offered to write emails for local businesses, free at first, just for experience. Within 3 months, he landed a client for $250. It wasn't much, but it felt like oxygen, proof that he could earn without clocking in. That was step 1, skill stacking. He learned one high-value skill at a time: writing, marketing, automation. No fancy credentials, just focus. Then came online leverage. He built a simple website and started offering digital services. No office, no boss, just a laptop and a Wi-Fi connection. When he finally made more from his side hustle than his warehouse job, he took the leap. Today, James makes over $7,000 a month. But the money isn't the real win, it's the time. He takes walks with his daughter in the middle of the day. He works from anywhere. He's building assets, not just income. And he's not alone. Thousands are following the same path. Real people with no special background, using the internet to create freedom, teachers turning to course creation, artists selling digital prints, nurses becoming health coaches, engineers building subscription communities. It's not about becoming a millionaire overnight. It's about building income that you own. Here's the core truth. Escaping the 9-to-5 isn't about quitting your job tomorrow. It's about building bridges, one skill, one income stream, one bold step at a time. It's about trading dependence for autonomy. And yes, it takes work. More work than you've likely ever done. But every second is for you, not a corporation. The system won't save you. It wasn't built for that, but you can save yourself. The 7 steps you'll see next aren't hypothetical. They're the same ones used by thousands who stopped trading time for money and started building lives they control. The question isn't if you can escape the 9-5. It's how badly do you want to? You were never meant to live your life in a cycle of alarm clocks, fluorescent lights, and 2 weeks of freedom a year. Deep down, you know this. The system taught you survival, but not freedom. Yet, freedom is possible. It doesn't happen all at once, but step by step, with courage and clarity. You don't need to be extraordinary, just willing. The people who made it out didn't wait for permission, they started. So ask yourself, in 10 years, will you still be stuck in the same place? Or will you look back and thank yourself for starting today? If this message hit home, give it a like, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more real talk on freedom and income. Drop a comment below. What's holding you back from escaping the 9-5? Your story might inspire someone else to take their first step.